Okay, I'm gonna make a quick video on what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Got my crystal ball. Larry Williams cycle forecast indicator gives you a forward-looking price for 66 bars or candlesticks into the future. Um, it was showing, kind of a reverse topping signal here. I mean, I don't really, I guess I don't still know how to use it all that great. I wish Larry Williams would put on a school or something how to use this thing. But I mean, obviously, if his Williams percent R indicator is showing a overbought um, oscillator, and you get any kind of a topping signal around in here, I mean, that was probably a pretty good heads up right here. I mean, you had a nice little red day right here if you look. But see, I can't put a whole lot of money behind this indicator yet. It hasn't proven itself to me that, it's not 100% accurate. It's not even, I don't know, I can't even put a percent on it because I don't use it that much. Um, but in times like this where there's, extreme uncertainty, I mean, you got to have something, something that indicates what it might do in the future. Nobody else has this that I know of that's willing to say June 8th, I'm showing a bottom. Right, no. Shush. That's my dog over there. Super scary guard dog. Okay, shh. That's enough. You're going night night. All right, so yeah, I'm showing June 8th as a bottom, pretty much. I mean, you see this little bottom, where it goes down and then turns back up. Possibly June 23rd. Could be another top. Might go sideways until July 3rd. And then I'm showing a pretty good little sell-off on a daily chart. Possibly, it could come up here, test this cloud formation. Your cloud, it has turned red, so that is a bearish on your Ichimoku cloud formation. That's a bearish indicator, but I mean, this could cross up. It could turn around. I mean, all this follows price action, so and I'm not real sure that Larry Williams indicator doesn't somehow use this Ichimoku system. I mean, it doesn't really look like it's almost reverse of what Ichimoku is showing. But now you go to a 4-hour time frame. If you want a shorter time frame, this looks like midnight on June 3rd, and this is UCT time. I don't know what that stands for, but so basically you got to subtract 5 hours for Central Time. So that'd be 7 p.m., I believe, on June 3rd. It's showing a pretty good little sell-off after that until approximately June 10th. That would be noon time. So that'd be what? 7 a.m. on June 10th. We might see a little rally until June 12th that'd be 3 a.m. Central Time, and then you might get another little sell-off. So short term, I mean, it looks bullish right now. I mean, your candlestick, your price action is above your cloud, Ichimoku cloud, on a 4-hour time frame. Now it's probably going to test this. It'll retest it. As long as it stays above it, that's bullish. But if it breaks back down below it, that's a bearish signal. Short term, I mean that's not super long term. So let's go to a 2-hour time frame. Again, you're above your cloud formation. You broke above it. You retested it here. Now you're rallying. I mean, this looks pretty strong. I mean, you got your 38,000 today. Your cycle forecast, I mean, your Williams percent R is overbought. I mean, it's telling you, decent time to take profits if you're a short term day trader or swing trader or whatever you want to call it. Might top out. It'll be sometime around 7 p.m. again today, this afternoon, June 3rd. No, wait, today's the 2nd. Hang on now. We might get another day out of this. Okay. Yeah, it's Wednesday the 2nd, so okay. I was thinking this afternoon, but so I'm showing 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow afternoon. I would expect some kind of little sell-off, at least until what time is this? Yeah, now that may back up. No, that would be, I think, because let's see. Yeah, that's midnight, June 3rd. So that would be 7 p.m. June 2nd. Would be possibly the sell-off. So that would be today. Okay, so I don't know, this time change thing. I need to figure out how to change that time thing. But anyway, so, and you're looking at a sell-off until, let's see, 4 minus 5, so that'd be like 11 a.m. on, June 3rd. I mean, not a huge sell-off. I mean, you can see it's pretty steep, but, you get a little rally and then, a little dip. And then you're going to get, back up until probably June 5th, somewhere around 1 a.m. on June 5th. That's from the 3rd till 1 a.m. on June 5th, and kind of sideways until June 7th. Looking like a pretty good little dip June 7th around, let's see, that'd be around 7 a.m., I guess, on June 7th. Might expect some kind of dip. What day is the 7th? On a Monday? Okay. I follow a guy that does a lot of Forex trading and trades currencies, and he done a back test where he says most bullish days, up days for currencies are Monday and Tuesday. Your down days, most likely to be down, is Wednesdays and Fridays. So, I've been trying to watch that on cryptocurrencies, and it seems like, it doesn't always work, but, obviously today is a Wednesday, and then, the market's up, so, it doesn't always work, but, so, might keep an eye out for that, if you are a short-term trader or day trader, you could use that to your advantage, or, kind of improve your odds a little bit. But all my other indicators, look pretty strong. Like you go, to your main time frame. I'll go to my main chart, Bitcoin. I've got a bunch of indicators. Your elder indicator, force indicators, you're still negative on your daily. Long term, yeah, both of them are negative actually. On your 2 time frame and your 13 day, both negative. Now you have got your crossover right here on the rate of change, 21 day, and then I put a 10-day moving average on that for my oscillator. When that crosses above it, that's a bullish indication. It's below 0, but so hopefully we put in a bottom. There's no guarantee, but it appears that we hopefully have short term put in a bottom. But your money flow is trailing up. I'd like to see it cross above 0, get back up, like it was, booming pretty much all year. But let's see, it's below your clouds, below your 21-day moving average. That's not all that great. It definitely needs to get back above the cloud formation. It needs to get back above your 21 exponential moving average. That's on a daily. And it's probably going to test it. You can see it's bounced its head up, bumped its head against it. Ever since it retested it, couldn't get above it, broke down. That's when you really had your bad. That was probably May 19th. This super bad candle right here when it made its all-time low of the crash, 29.9 thousand from 65,000. Your RSI indicators are, looking pretty bullish. I mean, you got a crossover here on your 13.8 crossover. Something new I've been trying. Their Fibonacci levels on their moving average, 8 and a 55. Dr. RSI guy, I forget his name, he uses a 9 and a 45 on those on a 14 standard deviation or whatever time frame. Let's see, your ATR is headed down. Your momentum indicator starting to turn up. Green line crossed above your moving average, your 10-day moving average, which is decent. If you can get this red line to turn up, that means it'd be outperforming the S&P 500. If it especially get above this 100 zone, that'd be good. Your on-balance volume still kind of negative. That measures your volume, coins traded per day, or Bitcoin. There'd be coins instead of shares or stocks. Accumulation distribution. It's kind of flat, for the month of May. But if you look over here in your thumbnail, it perked up a little. It was down pretty good, but perked up a little bit. New thing I've learned, I watch Mango Research a lot on YouTube, and they're really good for technical analysis. You really want to see my red and green line. This thing turns red and green on Market Cipher software. It's still bearish, since it's red. This is a 21-day moving average. I believe it's exponential moving average. My yellow line is my 55 exponential moving average. And then the number system, that's TD sequential. Market Cipher B down here shows your momentum, your money flow, your VWAP, volume weighted average price. I'm getting a lot of confirmation buy signals. Your MACD, your stochastic, RSI crossing above a moving average. Williams percent R is above your 50, negative 50. That's bullish. You had your big green dot buy signal right here on Market Cipher B. Even though your line is still red, you had this big line. If it drops below 60, your momentum, and you get your green buy dot, that's it. That's what he calls his anchor wave. This right here be your trigger buy wave. Ideally, you want to see this, carry forward, get above your zero line, like it did right here, and carry up, and you get pretty good little momentum buy signals. But this was a pretty short-term rally off of this. But it never really got below 60 over here though, so it probably didn't exhaust itself on the downtrend, would be my guess. Even though you got a 9 count here, which does a lot of time indicate a bottom. You got 8 days rally out of it. You had 2 red days maybe in the middle of it, 3 right there. It wasn't a solid straight up 9 count or nothing, but decent little 8 count. Kind of sideways action. It was given a lot of red flags. When you came off your 65K, top right here, I believe that was it when it hit almost the top. Yeah, 64.899. You got your red X right here. That was a sell signal. I believe this triggers when it closes below your 21-day exponential moving average. So that was a major sell signal right there. And sure enough, you got a 9 count down. You could have just sold your first red day if you wanted to. I'm testing out a theory. Just put this on a Heikin-Ashi setting, your candlesticks. it kind of smooths out your trend. You know, I believe it starts the next day in your midpoint of your previous candle, so it kind of smooths out the price action where you don't get choppy red green red green red green, schizophrenic the way most markets do, but it kind of just smooths out, and you just wait till it changes color. I mean, you get your first green day. I mean, I might not buy that day because it's a doji candle, but get you a decent candle body like this one. I mean, definitely you could buy your one count if you have TD sequential or you know how to set it up on TradingView. There's ways to do it. I've got a video, I believe, on it. Get your first red day, sell, wait for another green day, buy it back. If you wanted to, I mean, if you're long term, you're gonna, what they call hodlers or whatever, hold on for dear life forever. I mean, long term, nothing wrong with that. It just depends on, your time frame that you're investing in. But when the market's choppy and showing weakness like it is now, I really think, if you get anywhere close back to even, I'm probably going to just take profits. I'm going to go at least 50% back to cash because until this proves itself that we're back in another bull market, I don't want to be long term totally exposed like I was before this crash. I got greedy, I'll admit. I got extremely greedy before the crash. I was fully 100% invested pretty much. I was in a lot of junk coins that I had no business being in, just day trades that turned into long-term trades, that I had no business holding during this is a weekly basis, if you see here. So, I mean, you got pretty much 7 weeks of straight down. I mean, I guess you can put it on a regular candle. I mean, you got a couple of weeks bounces and then 2 bad weeks down, and now you've had, we're starting 2 weeks of up action. The mango lady, her name's Krisha. I don't know what her last name is, but her big thing is looking at a weekly chart, and if it's below your 21 exponential moving average, that's showing it's a big sign of weakness. I mean, yeah, your market cipher is still green, but and then I've got my 55 exponential moving average also. These are Fibonacci levels. Fibonacci numbers. That's why I use them. I learned that from Jason Casper. If you want to check him out on YouTube, he's really good for technical analysis. We are getting a weekly buy signal on the Williams percent R, which is good. That's a bullish sign. A lot of times it'll be your first indicator that's going to show you, a positive price action. If you look over here, your number right here. When I highlight the candle, it's above negative 80, which is good. As long as it can close above that, that's going to have to be a Sunday close of the market at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If that indicator is still showing that, that's a really bullish buy signal. Most of the time, that stands pretty strong. I mean, I don't know. Let's see if I can find another one. I mean, here was one where it touched it. Man, I lost all my price action. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you had a major red signal right here with a red X. Bounced down here. It didn't quite get below negative 80, but let's see where it got. This was March 9th last year during the COVID crash. It got to 77.68. It was on a weekly basis. Next one, green candle. See if we put that on a Heikin-Ashi. What'd that look like? Back in March. Yep, red candle, green candle, buy in. Look at this, boom, 9 weeks, straight up. I mean, that's about as simple as I can explain it. I mean, look at this. You put on your Heikin-Ashi candlestick, you had 18, 19 weeks. I mean, all right, you had one red week, a doji. I don't know. Dojis, they're kind of weak, candlesticks. I mean, pretty high volume, but it's a shakeout week on a 7 count. Went to a 9, actually got 10, a few more weeks. I mean, really got another 8 count plus these two. So another 10. So you got 18, 19, 20, 21. I mean, we had a huge bull run. Okay, and Tom DeMark in his book, he said his bread and butter, he waits for the 9 count, and you get your 13 right here on your continuation, and then another 9 count usually. So you got 2 9s in a row, then you got your 13, almost got a 9. You got an 8 count on it on a weekly basis. So every candlestick is 7 days of price action, I believe. With crypto, they never stop. It's 24/7, 365. So you got a 7-week, I think, 7-day week, I believe, is what you got on these candlesticks. But now we're showing a 7 down count. You got your red X. Sometimes the red X's will indicate a bottom is getting close. I would rather put it on a regular standard candlestick for that. Even though the guy that created this, red X market cipher software said he created it to work on the Heikin-Ashi. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it on Heikin-Ashi. It is holding the 55, exponential moving average, which is good. So, if nothing else, you've got that holding as support. Whatever price level that is, looks like around 31, 30,000, somewhere in that range. It dipped down a little bit below right here. I think it hit exactly 30,000 is what it shows on this candle, May 17th, the week of May 17th. But so that's what I'm showing. If we want to go through your weekly, which ones are strong. You look at BNB, it's above your 21, it's strong. Now you got a negative count. Your last 2 weeks have rallied up. So as long, you went below it, now you crossed back above your 21. That's probably going to retest it. As long as it closes above it this week and next week also, I would say, this thing should probably keep going. Luna, it's still below it. Your 21, it's weak. I mean, not to say that, it can't turn around. I mean, it could rally above it, in a week or two. I mean, if it gets any kind of news or anything, it's going to rally. It's off. Most all your smaller, large cap coins are following what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. So, I mean, they're kind of like your Dow Jones coins, and then your large caps are your, kind of like maybe your S&P or your NASDAQ, coins, I guess. Polkadot, it's kind of weak for now. Solano, it stayed strong. Dipped just briefly below it on the candle wick, but then the very next week it held it, and now it's back above it. It may retest it, but Cortese, it's holding strong. Compound, it's testing it, and it might be pretty close to above it. Let's see, where's the price action? It's your green number right here, 450, green or red, depending on the candlestick, but 452.67. And you're closing at 451, so you're just barely below it. I mean, if it rallies another point or two and closes above it on a weekly basis on Sunday, that could definitely take off. Theta, it's closing above it. I mean, it is above it for now. I mean, it's not, it may have to test it. And I'm in some weaker, micro cap stocks that have been a train wreck since I got in it. Basically, nothing but a big vacuum for money. It's on an 8-week down. Hopefully, one more week, and this thing should turn around. Sometimes you'll see a bounce on the number 9 coming down on a weekly. There's Ethereum. It held. I mean, it dipped just briefly below it. Next week, it rallied above it, the 21, your green line here. It may retest it this week, but, for now, it looks pretty strong. Here's Uniswap. It dipped below it, tested it last week, couldn't get above it. Now it's above it this week if it can maintain it. Bitcoin, it's below it. it needs to reclaim it. It's on an 8, so I'm guessing we might get another week of sideways to down action, before we really see, they need to take the market makers take their thumb off of it, let it run, they're, what they call the whales, once they get, as much of it bought up as they want, I'm sure they're going to take their thumb off of it and let it run. It'll probably go back to, it may not go right back to record highs, but, it could get, I'd say at least 50, maybe 60, who knows. Cardano, ADA, it held really strong. It dipped just barely below it, closed above it. You're on your third week now above it. On a 5-6 count. Let's see. What on Heikkanashi doesn't change nothing. XRP, it got weak. It closed below it. Last week, it did close above it. And then now you're retesting it this week. As long as it closes above it, I'd say, you might be pushing back up. Test these previous highs, somewhere around, $1.60. Could even push up to $2. Who knows? If we get that news on the lawsuit with the SEC on XRP, you could really take off. You got a link here, chain link. It got a little weak. It held to 55. I guess it's decent. It's not as strong as like Cardano and some of the other ones, but Matic, held really strong. Now you've reclaimed your 21. Now if you can close above it, we're still kind of early in the week, so who knows. Mirror protocol. Here's another one that I wish I'd have never bought, but anyway, I'm down about 50% on it probably. It's on a -5 down week. You got your red X here. Hopefully this is the bottom on a weekly basis. Guess we'll see. We had 2 green weeks in a row. So if this one closes green, this one hasn't been traded long enough to show a 21-week moving average yet. So Matic, it held really strong. Didn't even crack below your 21-week moving average, which is really strong. This thing, I think, could run at least another week or two, run up to a 9 count, and I might, take some profit off the table, maybe sell half. This OMI, kind of wish I'd never bought it. It's pretty much been straight down, train wreck. This could get 2 or 3 more weeks of negative price action, or at least sideways. It kind of looks like it's hit a bottom so far. It's almost, down to 0. It was a long, it was like a lottery play. I knew it was. It's a long-term hold. It's kind of an NFT kind of thing. I believe, they're doing a lot of football players cards and trading cards and stuff on it. But your main ones to watch, of course, are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum so far is doing pretty good today, and this week also. It's holding really strong. Your 4-hour time frame. Hey, you got a nice crossover right here. Your 21 crossing your 55. That's another bullish indication. Pretty strong. It's kind of a lagging. By the time your price action gets to that point to where you already crossed, you missed, 30-40% of the move. One guy, the sniper that I follow on it's Crypto Banter on YouTube. He doesn't even use moving averages because he says they're a lagging indicator. He said by the time you get your crossover and everything else, you've already missed the move. And he's right; they are. They're lagging. That's why I like Larry Williams' indicator, the Williams percent R. One of the quickest buy signal or sell signal indicators that I've found in 8.5, going on almost 9 years of day trading, short term investing or whatever whatever you want to call it. Your 4-hour looks pretty strong. This could run up to a 9. It didn't quite do it over here. It didn't have enough strength, momentum. You're getting your white caps on your market cipher. That's good. This little light blue indicator on market cipher B. You haven't really got a trigger sell wave yet. Now you are above your 60 right here. So if you get a red dot up here, that would be possibly a sell signal. I mean, not super bearish or whatever, but short term. This is all short. This is on a 4-hour time frame, so this is pretty short term. You may just get a little, it's gonna. I mean, nothing goes straight up in a straight line. It always zigzags up, down, up, down. So as long as we're making higher lows and higher highs, I mean, it's technically in a nice little uptrend. Short term on 4-hour. Go your 8-hour. Take a look at it. It's starting to rally. You got above your 21. You got above your 55. It's retesting the 55 on the 8. Then you're overbought. You could see a little pullback. But, I mean, all your oscillators, your indicators are showing strength still. So, I mean, you keep going. I like the Heikin-Ashi for these lower time frames too. You see how it smooths out your price action. You could have held this for the 9. Wait for your first red bar or sell on the 9. Take profit, sell half at least. You got a 9 count down, rebuy it, rally right back up. It's not perfect. It's not going to work 100%. To my knowledge, no indicator in existence works 100% of the time, as far as I know. I mean, I've heard several professional, technical analysis people that are really good at charts. 20, 30, 50 years in the business. Even Larry Williams, with over 53 years in the business, will tell you no indicator works 100% of the time. A lot of times you see this yellow X or a red X. That's whale, most likely institution manipulation is what that shows. That's part of your market cipher software. I'll try to put a link if anybody wants the market cipher software. It's designed to, like, if you don't know anything about technical analysis, how to read a chart, whatever, it's supposed to simplify, or you just go by the green dots. They don't always work. See, if you'd have bought this green dot, you could have held it for, these are 8-hour time frames, so a 24-hour time frame. But then it went right back down, so then you got another green dot here. So it's hard to know, which green dot do you trust? Now, obviously, this is your trigger wave right here. It's below your 60 line, your white line, horizontal white line here. You had your green dot. That's telling you, an uptrend is coming. You should be close to a bottom. I can make this bigger. You can see it. Much better. You can see your price action with it. But you got 2 green dots close together. You got your little mini green dots. These are buy signals. Your little white cap. Your trigger signal. I would call this a better trigger signal because it's above your 60 line right here. And I'm by no means an expert on this market cipher, software, but there's all kind of videos, training on it. Jason Casper has a lot of training on it. Crypto Face is who created it, so you can find his Crypto Crow interviewed him. There was a nice little, he finally, came on and did a nice, video on, broke down a lot of the signals and how to use it better. If you want to find that or whatever. So yeah, I mean, Ethereum's looking pretty good. I mean, it's looking pretty strong. As long as they close above this 55 on an 8-hour, I mean, that's carrying into the higher time frames some strength, I mean, here's a 12-hour time frame. I mean, you're getting momentum. Market cipher B, that's a really strong signal right here. That's when you get above your 0 line with this little light blue, I call it a white cap, kind of like, waves or white capping or whatever. That is a pretty strong momentum indicator. It's telling you, you got a lot of buying that, a lot of support, a lot of buying, more buying than there is selling, I guess, obviously, or it wouldn't be going up. But so yeah, that's a good signal. I mean, you had your green dots, your big green dots back here. You had your yellow X, and you had your green dots. if you're on Heikinashi, you get your first green, candlestick, 12-hour time frame. I mean, there's your long term. I would really prefer, I'm getting where I prefer at least a daily, ideally a weekly, uh, candlestick change. That way you can at least get, 3 or 4 days out of it. I mean, it's going to be choppy for a while, until, Bitcoin gets, I'd say, at least back above your weekly 21 moving average. No, this is Ethereum. Okay, my bad. Yeah, Bitcoin, until it reclaims this 21, and it's on a regular candle. I had it on Heikinashi, but if you're on a -8 down count, like I say, we could get another week of, boring sideways price action. And this thing could just explode on the 9 count too. I mean, I've seen it do that a few times with Bitcoin and some other cryptos. Let's see if I can find the last 9 down count. Let's see. Probably have to go way back on a daily basis. This is weekly, actually. Yeah, I'm not even seeing a 9 on a weekly basis. It's been we've had such a, right, here we go. Here's one. So it hit your 9 count on this July of 2018 was your last -9 count. You serious? Very next week rallied, sideways. This is kind of the market that we're in. This 2017, 2018 kind of market. A lot of sideways down action. We finally worked our way through it. I mean, what was this? I mean, before you started your major uptrend was, about February of 2019. Had a nice, little rally till COVID hit, and then, it got pretty dicey, obviously during COVID. But I mean, it was just a short-term pullback. I mean, it did close here. Major, that was a rough week there. Went all the way down to, what was it? Low of 38.58. 3,858 points, or whatever you want to call it, dollars per coin. Wow, man, I wish I'd have loaded the truck back then. Took a second mortgage on the house, whatever you had to do, man. You could have made a fortune with. I mean, if you had 100 grand through in that, you'd be sitting pretty good right now, man. I haven't actually crunched the numbers, done the math, but I mean, if you'd have sold anywhere close to the top when this thing hit, 65,000, man, you made a killing. But anyway, the one thing that concerns me on Bitcoin is a monthly chart. Okay, the Mango lady, Krisha, she brought this up. Your price action is starting to look a lot like it did at the top in 2017. You had your big blow off candle was an 8-9 count. You went down on your 9 count on monthly. You were doing a 12 on your continuation, but finally got your 13 over here, which was a little late to the party on your TD sequential count. But you see you got your big, this monthly, I mean, 7, 8, 9 months of down action, till February, March of the next year. I guess it rallied on February of 2019, but pretty significant, rally. But I mean, it went from 2019 of I guess you could say a low of through the previous month, 3,300 to and took off, hit a high of 13,800. I mean, that was pretty significant. Nice little move right here. These are monthly candlesticks. So that's 30 to 31 days of price action. But you can see how this kind of resembles 2017 price action. See how you rolled over your big red candle. That's the only thing that really concerns me right now is this definitely looks like a top action to me. I mean, you already had your 9 count, went to a 4. Now this could do a continuation to a 13. That's little small numbers right here. Part of TD sequential. So every 2 candles where it closes above your previous one, it's going to get a little digit number. So this continuation number could go to a 13. So that, that's, you got a long way to go. You've restarted your positive numbers, even though you got red candlesticks. These positive green numbers, as long as this candle's closing above 4 previous candles, which it did, right there is your 4th candle from it. As long as it closed above its low, I believe, then it gets a positive up count number. You put in your 9. We could do a 13. Put in another 9 count. I mean, this could go, easily. What'd that be? That'd be 9 months at least. And that's 2-month time frame. I mean, who knows? I mean, this thing could run as long as it wants to. But I mean, they do say, Bitcoin tends to run on a 4-year cycle. Okay, so 2017. I guess you topped out briefly. What was this? December of 2017 when you topped out. Rolled over, went down till pretty much January, February. Rallied on February, month of February of 2019. So that was your crypto winter right there. It was what they call it, crypto winter or nuclear winter, whatever you want to call it. When this thing crashes, I mean, it's going to get ugly. I mean, you want to take profits. I mean, I think. I mean, this could blow up, run to 100,000, 200,000. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's a lot of them speculating. Bitcoin could go, between 100 to 400,000 per coin, and it could, but it's going to need some big news. It's definitely going to need something to turn it around. But so anyway, just keep your heads up. This monthly time frame, in my opinion, is looking a lot like 2017. So I don't know. I mean, this next month is vital, I think, if you don't get some kind of major turnaround. If this was sitting on a 9 count, if we were sitting right here and it was rolling over, I'd say that's pretty much done deal. It has reset. You got your 13 reset to a 9 count. You got a continuation. And now you're on a 3-4 topping formation with a huge volume, which is mostly manipulation. I mean, I know it's manipulation, and it's a little different story now because 17 you didn't have all the institutions that were buying in. You didn't have PayPal, you didn't have Square, you didn't have Elon Musk, you didn't have Tesla, you didn't have Visa, MasterCard, the banks, the hedge funds, the investment banks, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs. I mean, they've got applications to create a Bitcoin ETF, which is, basically a mutual fund for their super wealthy, clients to invest in. And I think the more of those that start hitting Wall Street and start getting approved through the SEC, that may be the next leg, is what some people are saying, to get us to the next, 100,000, 200,000 leg on crypto, Bitcoin. And, if Bitcoin hits that, all the altcoins, the small coins are going to just follow it. So, and there's a lot of stuff going on with these altcoins, you can research, watch these guys on YouTube, there's another guy, he's called it George something, crypto, I think it's Cryptos Are Us or something like that on YouTube. He's good to follow. He researches. And that crypto banter, I like those on YouTube. The sniper guy Sheldon, he's putting on a crypto school now that's really good for. So they're just setting that up. Eventually, they're claiming that that'll be available to everybody for free. They may start charging at some point, but so we're looking forward to that. The more I can learn, the more charting and technical analysis stuff I can learn, the better. I mean, you never stop learning, I don't think, with technical analysis. And, sometimes it can get a little overkill. I mean, you get like information overload, but I guess it is what it is. You just got to try to read the charts best you can, read your indicators, and try to time it best you can. Just make a mental note. Try to make some. I'm definitely going to make my own rules now. That from now on, if I see anywhere 7, 8, 9 count on a daily basis, I got to take profit on. At least sell half. Lock in that profit in USD or USDT. I took profit on this last one, but I made a mistake. I took the profits and I rolled it into Ethereum because it was showing a daily buy signal the day before the crash. It was totally. If you can see right, I don't think. Let's see, when was May 19th? Right here, right there. Yep. So you can see Larry Williams' signal gave me a head fake right there. I think it might have been right here where I got in. May 18th, I think I took profit. It was a green day. Everything was looking, good. So I sold half of, some of my big ones, like, I don't know, maybe Luna, Dot. I think sold some of my Cardano, the ADA. The very next day, I had 20 grand in Ethereum. Boom. I mean, Armageddon for crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the altcoins. I mean, this is a rough week right here, man. I mean, rough week. But if you're in it, I mean, you know what? We're all going through it. But I didn't sell. I didn't take the loss. I did sell some of my crap coins. Some of the really micro, small cap coins. I did take profit on. I didn't take profit. I took a loss on them. A small loss, between 400 to 500 a piece. It hurt to get out of them, but I moved that recently. It was $11,000. I put that back in some of these more stable coins. I bought some more ADA, some Cardano. I bought some Theta. I bought some Matic. I bought some Bitcoin with it. I bought back in at 35,250, I think, on my Bitcoin. So I'm up pretty good on it. I'm up decent. I don't have a whole Bitcoin. I just put like 1,500 a piece in these, to try to spread it out and diversify. And where hopefully, if you got a red day, hopefully you got some of them going up. Which mostly here lately, if it's a red day, nearly everything's going down. I mean, it's following Bitcoin and Ethereum. So hopefully we're turning around. We can get back above this 21-day. On Ethereum and Bitcoin, I think we should be in pretty good shape. But as long as we're holding the weekly basis above the 21, that's strong. They also use a 10 simple moving average, is what that Krisho does on a weekly basis. And she's saying if we lose the 10, that may be her get out signal. We could change that right quick, I guess. We could change my 55 to a 10. Take a look at it, see what it looks like. I'll use exponentials. They say on Ethereum, they actually claim simple moving average works better. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I mean, we have reclaimed the 10 on Ethereum. I mean, as long as it closes above it, holds it, that's a bullish indication. I'd like to see this, turn around and start getting a positive number one count, ideally. Even throw in a green dot down here, maybe. Which, your weekly momentum and everything's still way above zero. So, I mean, it's, you got super overbought here. You got it over 100 on your weekly basis. Market cipher. Your VWAP dip. Now it's headed back up. That's a good sign. You got your little white cap, green dot right here. There's momentum headed to the upside. Red dot sell signal headed down for a little while, but that looks to be, that was probably right here. Yeah, it definitely was right here this week. This candlestick. So I mean, it looks like it's turning around. It bottomed off for your 21, turning around, headed back up. Hopefully, we'll go back up, test the record highs, maybe even make a new record high. Hopefully, um, there's part of me that doesn't believe this bull market is over right now, because if it truly is, why are all these hedge funds and investment banks still interested in starting an ETF that sells crypto? I mean, sells Bitcoin, Ethereum, a basket of your cryptocurrencies. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me at all. So I think, if the banks are on board and the hedge funds, investment banks are on board with it, I think it's here to stay, and probably going to just keep getting stronger and stronger, more and more money coming into it. I mean, I don't know what percentage of the world's wealth is invested in it. At one time, it was only like 2 to 5% of money in the world that was invested in cryptocurrencies. So, I mean, if that gets anywhere close to, 10, 20%, 30, 40%, whatever, I mean, it could just keep snowballing. But this thing could really take off. I mean, I fought it, argued that, Bitcoin was smoke and mirrors, and, why did we need it? Why do we need a digital currency when the dollar's already digital? That was my biggest argument. I mean, once I finally started researching, doing my own education, I found out, okay, the banks are using it to wire money, to do wire transfers faster, and so they save the fluctuation of the value of the dollar. They can do a transaction in 10 minutes, or, I mean, XRP can do it in 3 seconds. Solano's pretty fast, so it saves them money to use a cryptocurrency to wire money with it. So, yeah, I mean, once I started seeing the value of, banks can actually use this, people can actually use this to wire money. You can use it as a, real currency to buy stuff with if you want to. The IRS loves it because you can track every single transaction. They've been looking for some kind of global, world currency, a long time. I mean, it kind of makes sense. They may adopt some kind of crypto. I mean, most likely, I don't think it'll probably be one that's already in existence. I really think central banks, Federal Reserve, going to get together. All the world, currencies are probably, or the countries or whatever, and agree on some kind of new, digital currency that's brand new. They're going to create it. They're already talking about it. There's all kind of news articles about it, but that's my theory. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of out there, kind of out in left field, but I never thought it'd go this far. But it may just be getting started, is what most of them are saying. I hope they're right on that. But so, I'm gonna end this video before it gets too long. But I'll try to get this posted and help people out. Anybody that wants to look at it, just if you would, hit the like button, share it with all your friends. Repost it on Facebook, social media, Twitter. Blow it up, make it go viral, man, so I can quit my day job and do this for a living. All right, that's all for now, y'all. Catch you later.